Jordan Blue, a name once whispered with awe on the grand stage of America's Got Talent, has become one of the most puzzling mysteries in recent talent show history. With a voice that cracked gently like a heart breaking in real time, her audition stunned both judges and audience into silence, culminating in an emotional standing ovation. It was a moment so raw, so electric, that fans online hailed her as the next great ballad icon. A voice made not for pop charts, but for soul-stirring anthems and emotional storytelling. But just as quickly as she rose, Jordan disappeared. Not only did she fail to return for the next AGT rounds, but all digital traces of her began to evaporate. Her social media accounts froze. The official AGT channel removed her audition entirely without explanation. No interviews, no music releases, no public statements. It was as if she had been edited out of the show's history. And while reality shows often move fast, this wasn't the case of someone eliminated. It felt more like someone being erased. Fans flooded comment sections with questions. Where is Jordan Blue? Why did she vanish? And perhaps the most chilling, was she silenced? With no word from Jordan herself and complete silence from AGT producers, the whispers grew louder. This wasn't just a singer stepping back. This felt like something, or someone, didn't want her story told. The audition that went viral, but now you can't watch it anywhere?
One of the most suspicious elements of Jordan Blue's disappearance is the removal of her original audition from AGT's official YouTube channel, a video that had racked up millions of views and emotional responses worldwide. When the video first dropped, comment sections lit up with viewers comparing her to artists like Adele, Evanescence's Amy Lee, and even Broadway legends. Her rendition, raw, vulnerable, and haunting, was said to have brought even backstage crew members to tears. But roughly a year after its release, fans noticed something chilling. The video had vanished. No copyright notice, no re-upload, just a quiet purge. Even fan-uploaded versions were slowly disappearing, and those that survived were stripped of monetization or had muted audio. The digital trail was being wiped clean. Many suspected this was no accident. Whispers on Reddit and fan forums pointed to a possible request from Jordan's legal representatives to scrub her presence from AGT archives. Others argued the show might have removed it themselves after an internal conflict. A few even speculated that her performance stirred internal controversy over how much of her story had been manipulated for drama. But one thing was certain, it's rare for AGT to pull content that popular unless something bigger was brewing behind the curtain. A rising star that never rose again. After captivating millions in her debut, Jordan Blue never returned to the AGT stage. Not for the next round, not even for a goodbye. And that's where the story takes a bizarre turn. Most contestants who make that strong of a first impression, especially those receiving a standing ovation, are featured heavily in the following episodes, if not promoted as season frontrunners. But Jordan? She was never shown again. No elimination montage, no explanation, no backstage clip. Her absence wasn't just unexplained, it was ignored. Viewers waited week after week, wondering if she'd reappear, maybe in the semifinals, maybe in a surprise wildcard, but nothing came. Even media coverage that typically highlights AGT stars in the making began to skip over her name. It's as if producers decided to press mute on her storyline altogether. Why? Some speculate she withdrew voluntarily, possibly overwhelmed by the attention or facing personal challenges. Others believe there was a creative dispute between her camp and the show's team. In AGT's decade-long history, few contestants have been introduced so dramatically and then completely erased.
It raises the question, was Jordan's silence her own choice, or was it chosen for her? Behind the scenes, was something brewing backstage? Insiders connected to the AGT production have quietly hinted that Jordan's departure may not have been as simple as nerves or stage fright. According to unconfirmed but persistent backstage chatter, tensions began rising shortly after her episode aired. Some production staff reportedly felt uncomfortable with how her story was being packaged, particularly claims that producers wanted to dramatize her backstory to enhance audience engagement. This wouldn't be the first time a talent show leaned into emotional narratives for ratings. Multiple former AGT contestants have, in past interviews, expressed discomfort with the way their life struggles were amplified or even selectively edited to fit a specific image. With Jordan, the rumor was that she didn't want to be boxed into a broken girl with a golden voice trope. She simply wanted to sing. And when she resisted, things may have turned tense. According to one alleged crew member on a now-deleted Reddit thread, there were meetings between legal reps and the show's team over narrative control. Was that the moment her future on AGT started collapsing behind the scenes? While nothing is confirmed, the sheer speed and completeness of her disappearance suggest more than just stage jitters. When her social media went dark, the theories exploded. In the age of viral fame, silence on social media speaks louder than words, and Jordan Blue's total online blackout left fans deeply unsettled. Before her AGT audition aired, Jordan's Instagram showed glimpses of her as a regular teenager, photos from school events, theater performances, and vocal rehearsals. Nothing flashy, but it painted the picture of a passionate young artist preparing for her moment. Then came the AGT wave, a tsunami of attention, praise, and comments flooding every post. But within weeks, it all stopped. Posts were deleted. Her Instagram went from active to dormant. No stories, no replies, no follow-up. Her TikTok vanished. Her YouTube account, which reportedly had home covers and original songs, was taken down entirely. Some speculated that she was under an exclusive contract that barred her from posting. Others feared a deeper issue, that she had chosen to disappear to escape the overwhelming public scrutiny or emotional toll. Fans dug through cached pages, trying to preserve her content, but most traces are now gone. When an artist fades from the spotlight, it's often by choice. But when every platform, every post, and every performance vanishes at once, it feels like a cleanup. And nobody has come forward to tell us why. The legal shadows. Did the lawyers shut everything down? As more internet detectives tried to trace what happened to Jordan Blue, one disturbing theory kept gaining traction, that legal threats were involved. Several AGT fan forums reported sightings of a now-deleted thread claiming that Jordan's family had hired legal representation shortly after her audition aired. According to the post, which has since been scrubbed, the legal team allegedly took issue with how her image and story were being used without clear consent for future segments. Some fans even believe this led to a quiet settlement, the kind that comes with NDAs, wiped content, and no public closure. None of this is verified, but it aligns with how thoroughly Jordan's digital presence was erased. Normally, even contestants who withdraw from AGT still have their videos and fan pages intact. But Jordan's case is different, almost clinical in its precision. If there really was a legal dispute, it could explain the abrupt video removals and lack of coverage from major media outlets. It could also explain why AGT has never addressed the situation publicly. Silence, after all, is often a condition of legal resolution. And for fans hoping for answers, that silence may be the loudest clue of all. Was this another case of talent show burnout? In recent years, a troubling pattern has emerged in talent-based reality shows. Contestants skyrocketing to viral fame only to spiral or vanish shortly after. Whether it's the emotional toll, overwhelming exposure, or high-pressure environments, many young performers struggle to adjust. And Jordan Blue's case bears disturbing similarities. Mental health challenges in the entertainment industry are often underreported, and insiders claim AGT is no exception.
Former contestants have shared stories of isolation, production pressure, and lack of support. If Jordan experienced any form of breakdown or distress, even a minor one, it could have triggered a complete withdrawal, either advised by her family or personal choice. And while this theory feels plausible, it still doesn't explain why every trace of her was removed from the internet. Most contestants who've stepped away have left some digital footprint, even a farewell post. Jordan left nothing. If she did choose peace over fame, she deserves respect. But when her silence is paired with AGT silence and content removals across the board, it paints a darker possibility. One where burnout wasn't the cause, but a consequence of something much deeper. Fans begged for answers but got nothing but static. For months after her Vanishing act, Jordan Blue's name trended periodically on Twitter and fan message boards. YouTube comments on unrelated AGT videos were flooded with messages like, "Bring back Jordan Blue," and "Why are you hiding her?" Some even launched Change.org petitions demanding an explanation from AGT producers. Yet not a single statement was made. Not from Simon Cowell, not from the network, not from her. Total blackout. That kind of radio silence only intensified the mystery. Normally, when a fan favorite exits early or disappears, the show addresses it with a short segment or tribute. But AGT acted like Jordan never existed.
This deliberate omission led many to believe something went seriously wrong. After all, AGT thrives on its viral stars. They don't just let them go without reason. So why erase the one girl who moved millions in just 90 seconds? Every unanswered question led to a dozen new theories. Was there backstage conflict, a mental health emergency, or something AGT didn't want viewers to know? The digital ghost that haunts AGT to this day. Today, if you Google Jordan Blue, you won't find much. A few fan forums, some archived posts, and a growing trail of "what happened to" articles. But nothing from her, nothing official. It's as if her entire career was a whisper, one that echoed for a brief moment and then disappeared into static. Yet, for many AGT fans, that whisper still lingers. Her story is now used as an eerie example of how the entertainment machine can choose someone up and spit them out before they even get a chance to stand. Every few months, her name resurfaces, usually sparked by a new viral contestant who reminds viewers of that girl who vanished. But no one fills the void. Because what made Jordan Blue unforgettable wasn't just her voice. It was the feeling that she was telling the truth. And that truth, for some reason, had to be silenced. Whether by her own hand or someone else's, we may never know. Will we ever hear Jordan Blue sing again? The final question haunts both casual viewers and die-hard AGT fans alike. Will Jordan Blue ever come back? Could she resurface years later with a new name, a new voice, or even a quiet indie album that answers everything without saying a word? It wouldn't be the first time a former reality TV talent reinvented themselves. But Jordan's case feels different. Her exit was too clean, too complete, too deliberate. If she ever returns, it likely won't be through AGT or any major platform tied to that past. It would be on her own terms, anonymous, raw, maybe even under a pseudonym. And if that happens, her fans will recognize her instantly. Because that voice, that haunting, aching, beautiful voice doesn't just disappear. It hides, it waits, and maybe, just maybe, it's still out there, waiting for the right moment to be heard again.